This is as exercise as Steve has been, and it's at the youngest official, Andy Nagy. He just thought he...
Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr has just delivered a heartfelt statement about former Warrior Andrew Wiggins that has the NBA world buzzing, with the Warriors set to face the Miami Heat on Tuesday night in what will be their first matchup since February's blockbuster trade. Kerr couldn't contain his emotions when discussing the player who was instrumental in their 2022 championship run. "We can't wait to see him tomorrow, and hopefully he doesn't give us 42, but I root for that guy and I will for the rest of his career," Kerr said to 95.7 The Game. "Everybody loves Wiggs. Just an incredible human being, and we miss him around here." These powerful words come at a particularly significant moment, as Wiggins is fresh off a season-high 42-point performance against the Charlotte Hornets. The exact number Kerr referenced in his comments. The timing of this reunion couldn't be more dramatic. Tuesday's game marks Jimmy Butler's first return to Miami since the Heat traded him to Golden State, adding another emotional layer to an already highly anticipated matchup. While Butler's return will undoubtedly capture headlines, the Wiggins storyline has quickly become equally compelling following Kerr's public declaration of admiration for his former player.
Showcasing him here towards the end of the season. He started each of the last 7 games. I think they're trying to see whether or not they want to hold on to him for the rotation next year.
Wiggins, a topside three. Kaboom. Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins trying to drive to the middle. Euro steps his way in.
Wow. Tough shots. He has the basketball to isolate and attack. Look at him get to the Euro step here. Knows he can take his
13 straight points for Charlotte.
Wiggins spent nearly 6 seasons with the Warriors after being acquired from Minnesota during the 2019-20 season. During that span, he transformed his career, shedding the disappointing first overall pick label and becoming an NBA All-Star starter in 2022. The same year, he helped Golden State capture their 4th championship in 8 years. Over 307 games with the Warriors, Wiggins averaged 16.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 2.2 assists while shooting an impressive 46.4% from the field and 38.1% from beyond the arc. What makes Kerr's comments particularly notable is the remarkable resurgence Wiggins has experienced since joining Miami. In his 13 games with the Heat, he's averaging 21.0 points while shooting a career-best 48.0% from the field. March has been especially productive, with Wiggins putting up 23.7 points per game on scorching 56.1% shooting, including 42.9% from three-point range. He's also contributing 3.1 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 1.0 blocks, and 1.0 steals per game this month. But wait, there's more. Sunday's performance against Charlotte demonstrated just how dangerous Wiggins can be in his new environment. His 42-point explosion included 5 assists, 2 steals, and 6 three-pointers, making him just the 5th player in Heat franchise history to record 40-plus points, 5-plus assists, and 5-plus three-pointers in a single game. This statistical milestone places him in elite company among Heat legends and suggests he might be reaching new heights in Miami.
By himself, Andrew Wiggins. Timeout Charlotte.
Need to get out in transition, and this man knows how to finish there. 6-0 run for Miami.
Playing with a lot of force. Ball already has 7 assists for Charlotte.
The February trade that sent Wiggins to Miami and brought Butler to Golden State was part of a complex 5-team deal that reshuffled the NBA landscape. While the Warriors have maintained their playoff positioning, currently sitting as the 6th seed in the Western Conference with a 41-30 record, the Heat have struggled since the transaction. However, Wiggins' individual brilliance has been a silver lining for Miami fans. For Kerr, Tuesday's reunion clearly holds significant emotional weight. The coach who helped revitalize Wiggins' career has maintained his investment in the player's success, even as they've become opponents. Kerr's statement that he'll root for that guy for the rest of his career speaks volumes about the personal connection that transcends team allegiances, though he was quick to add the hope that Wiggins doesn't repeat his 42-point outburst against the Warriors. This sentiment reflects the culture Kerr has built in Golden State, where personal development and strong relationships often continue beyond a player's tenure with the team. Similar to how the Warriors organization has maintained positive relationships with former players like Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala, Kerr's comments suggest Wiggins will always hold a special place in Warriors lore, regardless of the jersey he wears. The mutual respect appears to have benefited both parties. Wiggins' career resurrection in Golden State helped deliver a championship to the Bay Area, while the Warriors' system and culture allowed Wiggins to silence critics who had written him off after his Minnesota years. Now in Miami, he appears to be building on that foundation rather than regressing to old habits.
Warriors leading scorer in that game, Risa Shell. And one.
Got to box out. You don't box out, you get a good, long, athletic guy. He's going to get those rebounds.
Boguet driving baseline.
Tuesday's game at KCS Center also carries significant playoff implications for both teams. The Warriors are fighting to maintain their position in the Western Conference playoff picture, while the Heat are looking to stabilize after the major roster shakeup. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in what promises to be one of the most emotionally charged games of the NBA regular season. Adding another layer of intrigue to Tuesday's matchup is the potential return of Warriors superstar Stephen Curry, who missed time with a pelvic injury sustained against the Toronto Raptors. According to reports, Curry is pushing to be available for Butler's return to Miami, understanding the emotional significance of the moment for his new teammate. As Kerr explained, Steph feels an obligation always to be there for his teammates regardless of the circumstances. He's an amazing teammate, and he wants to get back as soon as possible, mainly so we can win games and climb the ladder in the playoff race. But no doubt he wants to be there for Jimmy, too. Kerr compared the emotional nature of Butler's return to when Kevin Durant first faced Oklahoma City after joining the Warriors, describing it as, maybe the most emotional return game I've been a part of. This understanding of the human element behind these high-profile matchups reveals why Kerr is regarded as one of the NBA's most player-focused coaches. As the Warriors and Heat prepare to face off, Kerr's heartfelt comments about Wiggins have added another compelling narrative to an already dramatic showdown. Will Wiggins continue his hot streak against his former team? How will Butler be received in his return to Miami? And will the Warriors' genuine affection for their former teammate impact the intensity of their defense against him? What do you think about Steve Kerr's emotional statement regarding Andrew Wiggins? Does this warmth toward a former player reflect the special culture the Warriors have built under Kerr's leadership? And with Wiggins playing some of the best basketball of his career, did Golden State make the right decision in trading him? Tuesday's game should provide some fascinating answers to these questions as two teams with intertwined fates face off in Miami.
Number one, to avoid multiple flights, including a trip to high elevation in Denver after tonight's game here in Milwaukee. The Lakers, as you see, are going to play a brutal stretch starting tonight of 6 games in 8 days. The second reason is to take advantage of him being home. Obviously, the comforts of sleeping in his own bed, be able to rehab in his own facility. Listen, we're talking about a guy who's played at an all-NBA level this year, but LeBron is 40 years old, and he has played a lot of basketball.
He didn't want to go to Milwaukee because it's Milwaukee. Those are the shocking words from Charles Barkley that have set the NBA world on fire. In what might be his most controversial take yet, Sir Charles hasn't just questioned LeBron James's injury, he's flat out accused the king of ducking games and misleading fans. Tonight, we're breaking down the explosive comments that have Lakers Nation up in arms and NBA analysts divided. Welcome back to NBA Insider, where tonight we're talking about the war of words that has everyone talking.
This was LeBron James on Charles. He's a hater. What makes what he says credible? Because he's on TV? I'm not going to let him disrespect my legacy like that. I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Las Vegas. I never said I'm not a role model. I'm tired of biting my tongue. There's a new sheriff in town.
Charles Barkley, never one to hold back, has stunned viewers with his brutally honest assessment of LeBron James's recent decision to fly back to Los Angeles instead of continuing on the Lakers road trip. What started as a routine injury update quickly escalated when Barkley went on an unfiltered rant, questioning not just LeBron's travel plans, but potentially his commitment to the team during a grueling part of their schedule. The Lakers are in the midst of a brutal stretch, 6 games in just 8 days, a schedule that would test any team's endurance. When TNT's Jared Greenberg reported that LeBron James had returned to Los Angeles after the Brooklyn game due to a groin injury, mentioning factors like avoiding Denver's high elevation and getting comfort at home, it seemed like standard injury management for a 40-year-old superstar. But Charles Barkley wasn't buying it. Not one bit. Barkley began with heavy sarcasm dripping from every word. "I just hope they survive. They act like, listen, man, they're not flying commercial. They're not flying Southwest." As his fellow TNT analysts laughed uncomfortably, Barkley was just getting started. What came next left everyone stunned. He wasn't going to play anyway. LeBron's probably out for the rest of the season. I don't see him coming back. Yes, you heard that right. Charles Barkley, an NBA Hall of Famer and one of basketball's most prominent voices, essentially accused LeBron James of exaggerating an injury and suggested he might be done for the year.
It's been made very clear that this groin injury that he's dealing with is not even close to as bad as the one that cost him 6 weeks back in the 2018-2019 season.
But Barkley wasn't finished. He saved his most explosive claim for last. And he stayed in New York because it's New York. He didn't want to go to Milwaukee because it's Milwaukee. That's why he flew back home. Stop it, man. These guys be juicing y'all up all the time. In one shocking outburst, Barkley didn't hold back, accusing LeBron James of exaggerating his injury, deliberately avoiding Milwaukee, abandoning his team during a critical schedule stretch, and misleading everyone about his real reasons for returning to LA early. Examining LeBron's injury provides crucial context to Barkley's controversial claims. At 40 years old, James has sustained an impressive workload this season, following his Olympic gold medal run with Team USA while maintaining elite performance levels across statistical categories. The groin injury in question occurred during the Lakers' Brooklyn game, resulting in a day-to-day designation. Sources close to LeBron indicate this isn't as severe as his previous groin injury that caused an extended absence. Medical experts confirmed Denver's high altitude could genuinely worsen inflammation and complicate soft tissue recovery, lending credibility to the official explanation that Barkley dismissed. The Lakers' schedule presents a legitimate challenge as the only NBA team facing 6 games in 8 days, an extraordinarily demanding stretch even with modern recovery methods. Notably, Rui Hachimura and Jackson Hayes also returned to Los Angeles early instead of continuing the road trip, raising questions about Barkley's Milwaukee avoidance theory. Are these role players supposedly ducking Wisconsin too? Social media immediately erupted following Barkley's comments. Lakers fans expressed particular outrage, with one commenting, "Chuck is a Lakers hater for life," capturing widespread sentiment among the fan base. Another confused fan wrote, "ESPN should change their mind and cut these bums off the air next year." Apparently unaware, Barkley appears on TNT. Some reactions turned personal. This fat slob hates the sport he covers. Maybe if he wasn't such a degenerate gambler, he could have retired years ago. However, Barkley found support from others appreciating his candor. People hate Chuck because he real Lowell bro, always speaking facts. The Barkley-James relationship provides essential background. Though not sworn enemies, they've had numerous public disagreements over LeBron's career choices, from the decision to his perceived influence on team management, which Barkley once called inappropriate and whiny. LeBron has counterattacked, telling reporters, "I'm not going to let him disrespect my legacy like that. I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Las Vegas." This latest criticism represents another chapter in their ongoing tension, a basketball legend from yesterday challenging today's superstars' approach. There's another fascinating aspect to Barkley's comments, his implication that LeBron specifically wanted to avoid Milwaukee. This touched on a sensitive topic in NBA circles about market size and the perceived desirability of different NBA cities. Milwaukee, despite being home to 2-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo and the 2021 NBA champions, has historically struggled with the perception of being a small market with less appeal to star players. Barkley's suggestion that LeBron preferred the glamour of New York or Los Angeles over Milwaukee plays into a larger narrative about player preferences and market inequalities in the NBA. It's worth noting that LeBron has never publicly expressed any negative opinions about Milwaukee as a city. In fact, he's spoken highly of Giannis and the Bucks organization on numerous occasions. At the core of this Barkley-LeBron controversy lies a fundamental basketball philosophy divide. Old school purists, represented by Barkley, believe players should endure discomfort, travel with teammates regardless of playing status, and only sit out with significant injuries. The modern approach, meanwhile, embraces strategic rest, load management, and preventative care to extend careers, particularly for veterans like LeBron, who've logged unprecedented minutes over decades. This philosophical clash explains the passionate reactions to both LeBron's decision and Barkley's criticism. Neither side easily concedes ground in this evolving debate about player preservation versus traditional toughness. Looking beyond this specific incident, Barkley's comments fit into a broader pattern of former players criticizing today's stars for perceived special treatment and diminished resilience. Similar controversies erupted around load management just last season, eventually prompting Commissioner Adam Silver to implement policies ensuring star availability for nationally televised games. For LeBron, now remarkably in his 22nd NBA season while maintaining elite performance, these decisions balance immediate team needs against career preservation, extending an already unprecedented legacy of excellence and longevity. According to reports, LeBron is scheduled for reevaluation early next week, with updates on his status forthcoming. The Lakers must meanwhile navigate their punishing 6 games in 8 days gauntlet without their cornerstone player. For Barkley, these comments further cement his reputation as basketball's most unfiltered analyst, beloved by some for his candor, criticized by others for perceived unnecessary provocations. As this story develops, one certainty remains. The relationship between basketball legends past and present continues evolving in complex ways. Barkley's willingness to publicly challenge James demonstrates his belief that no player, not even the all-time scoring leader, deserves immunity from criticism. Whether you view Barkley as speaking truth to power or simply stirring controversy for ratings, his comments have again positioned him at the center of basketball discourse. For LeBron, at 40 with nothing left to prove, perhaps commentators' opinions, even from Hall of Famers, simply don't resonate as they once might have. What's your take? Is Barkley right to question LeBron's commitment, or is he failing to understand modern player management? Let us know in the comments below.